Hello, this is the project's presentation for Software Engineering CSIS 3275. Our application for Group 5, that is, our group is Group 5. Our application is a resume generator application, which allows a user to create a resume, and then it puts a code search for the resumes based on the experience of the user whom he is searching for. So to start the demonstration, I'd like to, first of all, sign up for an account. On the sign up page, I have the user sign up and the recruiter sign up. So I would sign up with the following details. I'll use the name Christine Connelly. And then I would use the email cchristine@gmail.com. Then I would sign up for this account. Okay. Now, once signed up, I can now go to sign in. And then there's also a recruiter signing as well as a user signing. But then since I'm a user, I would sign in with my user details. And then I'll click on sign in. Now, once I'm signed in, it will take me to the page where I can create my resume. So to create my resume, I would enter my details, first name, last name. The user's email is displayed by default. I'll input my phone number. Then I'll add an address. Then I'll add my personal summary. Then for work experience, I'll also add the title I had. Then I'll add the company's name. Then I'll add the dates. Then I would add the tasks which I was performing under this position. Each task takes an input, so I'll add the first task. And if I wanted to, I could also remove this task. So I add the first task. I'll also add another task. And another task. Then I'll add another experience, another company I worked at. And this time, my title is this. The company's name is this. And the date is. Now to the tasks I performed in this position, I'll add I'll also add another task. Now I've added the tasks. Next, I'll be able to add education. Inside the course that I studied. I guess I made a mistake in the data I used for global advertising. Should have used 2020. So that way the resume aligns properly. Then I add another education, another school I attended. Add the dates. And that is for the education. And finally, I'll be able to add the skills I had while at the job. And I could also be able to remove one of the skills I have. So I'll add this one possibly twice, and then I'll remove one of them. So the resume has everything filled up. I can now go ahead and create the resume. Now it's been created. Now I'll go to my resumes. When I refresh the page, it fetches my resume, shows my personal summary, shows my experience, the company I worked in, the dates, my duties. It also shows my education and the schools I attended and the courses I did, as well as the skills I had or I acquired in the courses I did. So this is it for creating a resume. Then I will give it to my colleague to go ahead and display how we can update the resume, delete the resume, and other functions as well.
Hi, I'm Daniel. In the following section, I will demonstrate three functions, which is the first one, updating a resume. So first, we are here in the My Resumes page, which will show all the resumes of user account. So first, we need to go into the edit mode, which can be accessed by clicking this button, View, and then the user can click Edit. Yeah. So we are here in the edit mode of resume. So first, say the user have changed her phone number. So I can change it here. And then maybe the user have to update her experience. Maybe it's already 4 years now for the video production assistant. Yeah. And then maybe she have changed her address also. Yeah. And then we can actually add more work experience by clicking add experience. We can add more history, maybe office clerk, and then the company name, and then the date. So we can add task here. I can add more. And then I can also add education. So maybe the user now would like to include her high school history. So I can add the school name here, and then the date, which is the year, and then the course. Finally, we can add some more skill, like leadership, like active listening. Yep. And then we have updated all the information here. And we can update the resume. Then we can return to the My Resume page. And then you can see now there's 4 year. And then the resume includes the office clerk history, and then high school history, and then also the leadership and active listening skills. So next, I will demonstrate how to download a resume in PDF format. So also we are here in My Resume page. We can view the resume. Yep. And then we can download as PDF. So let's open it and see what it looks like. So this is here's the resume just downloaded. You can see the information have already been updated, which is 4 year, and then office clerk, and then Boston High School, leadership and active listening. Finally, I will show you how to delete a resume. First, we go back to the My Resumes page. Yep. And then we can see there's a delete button here. And I click it. And then it asks for my confirmation. I clicked OK. More resume in this account. And that's all of this section.
Well, this is a presentation of the technical aspects of our program, of our web application, which is a resume generator website. So going straight to the back end, first of all, I had the entities or the modules developed. I have the user entity, I have the resume entity, and the recruiter entities. The user entity has normal properties of name, email, password, and the rest of it. And then the recruiter entity has the same. Then the resume entity has things such as the user ID, the user's first name, address, phone number, and then it has things like list of experiences, which is a list of experience entity, and then a list of education entity as well as a list of strings. So all of these are in the back end. And then the properties, the controllers, the controllers were used to get them to get a particular one to map to post that is to create a recruiter's account, in this case a recruiter, or to update a recruiter's account. And then for the resume, similar things were also done. We have the list of resumes which have a required a not required request param, which is the string which is used to search for a resume. In which case, if a string is entered in the search, which I will show later, it pops up the resume. And then it has the post for creating the resume, and it also has the list for a particular resume, a particular email, which is a particular user, a list of the user's emails, and a lot of other ones that follow. Then going straight to the front end, to the view part of it, I have the JSON a package.json file where I listened to port 8081 because it wasn't listening to it by default. It was listening to port, I think, 15135 or something like that. So I had to make it to listen to port 8081. And then I created these services. I created the user service and the user resume service. The user service allows the user to both sign up and sign in. This one is a sign up user, this one is a sign in user, and they're both Axios commands. They call on this function, this constants, which are the URLs. And then with the URLs, I pass in the user, which is an object, when I want to sign up a user. And similar thing is done when I want to sign in a user. So let's see how this is used. When I want to sign in a user, for example, this is the signing user page. The form is created and uses the view models of the recruiter email and the recruiter password. Or I'm using the recruiter as an example in this case. Or in this particular file, there is both the recruiter and the user's signing account. So the first one is for the recruiter and the second one is for the user. So both of them are found below where we have the recruiter's email, the recruiter's password. And then this is passed into the, let me get the function. I imported the user here, I imported the recruiter, these are the services. So the user service is used to log in a user. So when I go down here, I would say user.signin user, which passes the email, the password, and the router for routing to a new page when the user is signed in. The recruiter likewise has a recruiter.signin recruiter, which has the recruiter's email, the recruiter's password, and also the router. So when I go to that function that I just showed, which is the user sign up page or sign in page, it has these functions whereby the passed in email, sorry, not this, for the sign in, the passed in email and password are used as well as the router to route to create resume. So when the recruiter has finished, when the user has finished signing in this case, it goes to the resume page where the create resume page where the user creates a resume. Now in the create resume page or the create resume file, there is the form which has the first name, last name, and the user email is populated by default. How this is done is that when the user signs in, his email is saved using session storage, and the session storage is gotten back when you get to this page, the recruiter, the user creating resume page. So when the page gets the email from the session storage, it now populates the form using the email, so it doesn't have to be imputed again. This also helps so that someone's account is not used to create a resume for another person. So the person has the privilege of, or is enabled to add in his experiences, his information, his education, and all of that, his skills, and all of these are populated. Now, the experience is an array of experience class, like I showed in the back end, and the education is likewise an experience of a list of experience class, and the skill is a list or is an array of strings. So when someone wants to add in a new resume or a new experience, the function to add in an experience is this, add experience, which gets the experience and pushes in a new object, which has everything the experience has, which is title, company, and date. It pushes it in. And the tasks itself in experience is an array of strings in itself. So it pushes this in and the person creates the new resume. And when you're creating the resume, you can also want to add in some tasks which you performed in the job. Then you also get the tasks, which is experience.tasks, and push in the string to add to it. Or if you want to remove a task, you get the experience.task, and you remove the last item from it, which is splice index 1. So this is how the resume is created. And then the rest of the things below are the styling, sorry. And then for the other pages, such as the resume page, the resumes page, this fetches the resumes using the resume service. So it gets the resume, which is the user resume, then it uses it to fetch the resume using an Axios command. And then when it gets the resume, it populates the resume of this page, this resume with response of data. And once it's gotten, it now lists every resume in that page with the if resume command. So So long as resumes dot length is still positive, so long as there is resumes in the list, we will list each resume consecutively, just by listing out the resume and their properties. And then the resume page, which lists a particular resume, does something similar. It just gets the resume for that particular resume that is clicked. It gets it by going to the resume as well, calling on the resume, user resume service, and gets a particular resume. Now, when we go to the user resume service, we will see the functions that were used. The first function here is get user data. I think this was not really part of this. I would remove it. I would like to remove that afterwards. Now, the other function, which is create a new resume, is used to create a resume. Get resumes, gets all the resumes. And then get resume gets a particular resume because it attaches the resume's ID beside the resume, beside the URL. So these are the URLs that are used to fetch resumes. Then, additionally, the updates resume page, which I called in my resume editor, fetches the resume that is being edited and it populates the form with it. When it fetches it, it populates the form with it and then passes when it gets the experience, for instance, the experience is a list of experiences. So it now maps through the experience, so it loops through the experience and passes the information to each field that is needed in the experience. And that is how the update is done. So this is how the back end and the front end of this application work. So now I would like to show how a user could or a recruiter could search for a resume of a user in the searching for resumes session for the recruiter. So I'll sign up for the recruiter account quickly. I have to sign up first. So now that I've signed up, I'd like to sign in with the same credentials as a recruiter. Now that I've signed in, it shows me where I can impute the search term I want to search for. Now, assuming that in the back end, because I have a default resume I have here, so I would try and search for a key in that resume. A key term I use I would look for a task performed by the person's resume. So this is the resume I used, and then for the experience, in the tasks, I have coding new features, debugging code. So I would use the word coding or front end to search for a term. So I will use front end here. And when I click search, you should find a resume that's front end because that is what I use. Front end coding and design. But then, for example, since I did not use React in this, if I put in React, it might not find anything. It would not find anything. Now I put in React, it didn't find anything. But if I put in coding, or even COD code, we will get it. If I put CODE, we will not get it because that word is not. Well, let me put CODEE, we would not get it. But because COD is in the here, you will find it. You will find the COD. So this is a demonstration of the application. In addition to the ones shown earlier, this is the technical part of the presentation. Thank you.